Good morning, everyone. My name is Vincent, and today I'm talking about the bioluminescence emission spectra of four species: Pyrosoma atlanticum, Pyrosoma spinosum, Euphausia tenera, and Gonostoma species. First is introduction. I have a question. What is bioluminescence? Have you never heard this word? But you may hear the word here. You can see blue light produced by algae in the sea. And you may hear tomato in movie Moana. You can see a huge crab with very different colors. So to put it simply, the bioluminescence is the light produced by living creature. Like this. Yeah, living creature. We focus on the bioluminescence emission spectra because it helps us to explain the function of marine bioluminescence. Because the bioluminescence emission spectrum means color. Color can help us to know the attenuation of light in seawater and the creature's perception of light. It affects the predators and the prey, their relationship, and how creatures mate. And now it is method. All the sample is collect use research vessel present and by ISA kit middle water trough. It's a kind of trough. On the boat, we collect the fresh organism and we put it into a dark room. In a laboratory, the lighted organisms will put in a grating spectrometer. A grating spectrometer can help us to determine the wavelength. Those part of two peaks more than 3.5 nanometers can be analysis. Results. What's happened in these four species? First is Pyrosoma. You can see blue light and red light. This is one quantity of Pyrosoma. It can be very good. It's also one quantity of Pyrosoma. And this is also one quantity of Pyrosoma. So in Pyrosoma atlanticum, we have one quantity of sample. And the peak emission is 492 nanometers. Sorry, x-axis is wavelength in nanometer, and the y-axis is relative intensity from 0 to 1. And Pyrosoma atlanticum is greener than other species. We can see a position here. Next species is Pyrosoma spinosum. We have three colonies of sample, and the peak emission is 485 nanometer. For me, because we have three colonies of sample, and its wavelength is here. Next species is Gonostoma. It's a kind of fish, and we can see a light spot here is photoboard. With this fish use photoboard to project the light. So the spectrum is obtained from photoboard. And the peak emission is 503 nanometers. It's longer than Pyrosoma. You can see it's more than 500. The last species is Euphausia. This is real Euphausia tenera. Peak emission is 468 nanometer. And it's the bruised. this species is very special because we get the narrow spectrum. We will talk about this later. And this is the description. Before to see a table, I want to introduce you two words. First word is FWHM. It means full width of the spectrum at half the maximum intensity. This is half the maximum intensity, and the Y means FWHM. Another word is FW 10% M. Is in 10% of the maximum intensity, the Y. So this is well. We have three colonies of thermal Pyrosoma spinosum. So there are three species. And it's peak, FWHM, and FW10%M. Discussion. What does this mean? First, Pyrosoma atlanticum produce the blue light. Kappa and Boden, they get peak emission, first peak and second peak. For our data, we only get first peak, not second peak. You can see picture here. And we think it's instrumental artifact because we find that Kappa and Boden only find second peak in very special situations. And Ansari, Joling, and Pomenti also have a same conclusion. Pomenti find this species produce blue light and is subspecies of this species. Next is the change in bioluminescence of Pyrosoma atlanticum. But just fine, in some situation, the color will change from blue to red. First situation is this is a colony of Pyrosoma, and if we hit it or it's decomposing, it will be red. But why? This is in general situation. And if we hit or it decomposing, the outside colonies will change to another situation, and it will be selective filtering will happen. So the light blue and go outside will be red. Next species is Gonostoma species. It's probably Gonostoma elotum, but the specimen was damaged, so we cannot sure. And the broad, we find the light organ have a duct connected to outside. This is the table, and we can see FWHM. Here is a large group, and the Gonostoma is in a large group. So we have a large value of FWHM. It means emission spectra affected by overlying region vary slightly. So our data can find that this is true. The last species is Euphausia tenera. And the basal, they find if we get a small value of FWHM, and it means filtering by outline tissue. We see this table again, and this is a large group, and the Euphausia is not in the large group. So the light from photophore has been selective filtered, because if this selective filter didn't happen, then the value of FWHM will be large, so we get a small value. So we have so we can say this happened. you for the vision.
Alright, so just 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, so now we can have Q&A. And it's just, not yet. Okay. That will be volunteer questions. Alright. So, first, Timmy. Timmy here. Second, Sylvia. Third, Sam. Sam. Fourth, Bellos. Fifth, Stella. Okay, starting with Timmy.
It's hard to understand the spectra. The spectra, the Y is the Y 10% light is what's the mean like why is
You haven't finished your question.
it's the 4 white of the 10% the spectra is what's the meaning? Why we choose the 10% from the spectra to
Repeat this question.
You mean what does FW 10% and
why we actually choose the 10%? 10%. The value why is 10%?
or why choose 10%? The paper didn't mention.
Oh, okay.
So you don't guess.
Oh, I guess that choose 10% to avoid those value that the intensity is too small. Yeah.
Sylvia. Louder, please. Repeat her question.
Why some species didn't have data of FW 10%? In fact, the paper didn't mention it, and I guess it is. You can see these 3 species have data. Only Pyrosoma atlanticum didn't have this data. We can see a picture of these species. You will find in the intensity of 10%, the curve here didn't match the 10%. So, real value of 10%, the white may be very, the curve maybe go like this. So, if we really want to know the white of 10%, it will be very, very large because the curve didn't match the line.
Sam.
I don't know if FW. Why is FWHN? Or what does this mean? This white means you can have the maximum intensity. So if this value is white, it means the light produced by this structure, their wavelength range is large. So you can see that if this rod is large, these creatures produce maybe yellow lights, blue lights, green lights. But if this value is very small, only in some wavelengths, it means means this creature only produce maybe red light.
Next, fellows.
How does this research be used in the modern life, the reality? You know what I mean?
I know.
Repeat the question.
This research, how,
Could be used.
it could be used in more function, right? We have 4 discussions, and the first, I think the first, just to make sure the spectra of this species, so it helps us to know more about it. And the second species, we are discuss the changes in some in what situation the bioluminescence will change its color. And the next 2 species, the Gonostoma and the Euphausia, we're talking about the FWHN. We're talking about the creature's emission spectra, they're white. And in the left we can see the filtering. Because some creatures, the overlying tissue will filter the light produced inside. So maybe the light produced in many colors, but we only see one color. If this didn't happen, we can see the original color produced by the unit, maybe photo 4 or just by its species.
Let's stop here. This is not to the point. All right, Stella.
And may I know what's the objective of doing this? It is just to compare the value of emissions.
Repeat the question. Do you understand?
Can you repeat again?
Slowly.
It is the objective of this is just to compare the value of emission between all these species, like this produce the most and this produce the least. And in the data that you give us, there is a one colony that only yields the least amount of species. That means only 38, I think, and the rest are around like 80 something in your data.
Do you understand? Objective is show. What's the objective or purpose of this study? Is that right?
Yes, the objective.
What's the objective? Purpose. What's the goal? What do you want to achieve?
What do you want to prove in this experiment?
I think in this paper we just analyze the emission spectra, and they discussing this spectra to other research.
All right, I have to cut here. Volunteer question, maybe 1 to 2. Jake.
Excuse me, I still don't understand what this Pyrosoma is, because you show the picture, I've only seen a long sleeve something.
What is Pyrosoma?
It's jellyfish.
It's a jellyfish or animal.
This is a collagen of Pyrosoma. So there are a lot of Pyrosoma in it.
Okay.
They form a collagen.
So when you're doing your experiments and these species are all alive or they're dead, because you mentioned about bioluminescence, so maybe they are dead. They still.
They're like.
Okay.
What's your name? English. All right, please.
Instead of giving heat for the species will be turn into the red one, right? Okay. It's still alive.
didn't mention it, but I guess it's still like.
Thanks.
All right, my turn. Running out of time. All right, so you have to stay here, please. There are several good things for this very first talk. The first talk is, as you can see, it has. So you can see that at the beginning it has some good introduction, for example, like this, or this. However, the introduction is not good enough. It can be improved. Second, the talk is image rich. It has a lot of images. You can see, so he looked for images on the internet. That's what all of you should do. Third, it has very large font. Okay, and then for many of the figures, he of course, he introduced the axis. Then he add these guiding lines, so that you know what he is talking about on the figure. He's not just pointing around. He's also using guiding line. Okay. And he also remade the table. And overall, I think he has very good slides that are easy to follow. Okay, that's a good part. And now the criticism. First of all, as I forgot her name. Stella pointed out, you have to mention very, very clearly at the end, maybe before these slides, what is the purpose? What do you want to do with this study? Okay, you have to mention that very, very clearly. Then second, that would echo Jay's comments. You introduce your target research material at the very end. I think here and here. However, it would be good actually at the beginning, because actually at the beginning when you show these slides, I thought these are the organisms you are going to talk about. But this is not true, right?
Yeah.
Because this is algae, I think. And this is crab. And you are not talking about algae and crab.
Yeah.
Alright, so I would say, although this figure looks good, I would say you should use some slides to introduce Pyrosoma and Gonostoma clearly, or all the three types of organisms very clearly. What they are, what are their ecological importance, or even if that will echo one of the comments, if there are any application value, commercial value, like they are being used as drugs, or even OLED material, for example, their pigments, whatever, or photophore. Okay, so you have to introduce them very clearly. And then there are some pronunciation issues. How to pronounce? Relative. How to pronounce? Width. Okay. And then one thing that's logically not clearly explained is at some point you are talking about, you have a term called selective filtering. I don't remember which slide. Right.
Yeah.
Selective filtering. However, actually, to me, it is unclear what is the relationship between this value and filtering by overlying tissue. The logical connection is not clear. So this can be improved. You have enough time. Okay. And then another minor thing would be, because after you introduce these Latin names, I already forgot what they are. So it would be great if you paste a small mugshot, mugshot of the creatures next to the table here, so we know who is who. Okay. So, but overall, I think this is a good talk, and I think it has established a good example for the following students. Thank you.